Space. User's choice Adreno. For life. Little injuries.
I'm afraid I can't come down anymore.
I'm on my legally allotted break. Really, I'm supposed to be here. Oh, what are you doing here? Nothing. Nothing. Why? Does it... Laws, I knew it! You got me. I'm caught, aren't I? I work in the lab at the Ministry of Accuracy and Morale. Some of my sprats went missing, but maybe I let them out more often than regulations allow, but they need to stretch their little... And so what if I occasionally forgot... They escaped, and before I could coax them back, they'd made their way to the maintenance. Even if I did dare go down there, they're among all the common sewer sprats, and Really? In that case, take this collection crate. 6 of my little ones are down there. They have intelligent eyes, and agreeable yet Please, do take care, and do mime the exterminator mechanicals, if the worst should happen. Well, to maintain things, of course. Like big, humming machine things with gears. And pipes. Everyone knows sewer sprats carry diseases. And the why they do... Some people say there are strange things in those tunnels. Assassins. Monsters hungry for human flesh. Not that I...
Out with it, you wretched contraption! Does nothing in this city. Work anymore.
Citizens, today marks a monumentous occasion in the course of
How does
Halcyon
this
history.
sound? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to walk into you like that.
Thorough examination of our
Oh, my
budgets,
goodness.
revenue streams, and predictive
Well-
models. We are...
For all auditions, please use the elevator on the left.
considering it, aren't you?
Great! You made it! Listen. We gave the other actors... See, Now go in there, find your mark, and show us...
I'm sick of these bit parts. I have to get a better agent. Love this suit's itching. No way a real pirate's wearing this.
What are you doing? Well, well. Here to stop us at last. All of this settlement CNP Hungry Time food pills saying with their patented stomach stuffing effects and bait. They are? What an unexpected twist.
Which side is my good side?
Do you remember the last time we faced each other? The Battle of Axejack. Hey, I didn't write this. Just go with it. I had you surrounded. I've been waiting for... Yes, even you are power...
This what passes for entertainment around here? They ought to try tossing back a Spectrum...
Hey, no one told me we were giving I have this hope. Once we're away, I'll activate the gamma particulate field and the quantum... And I spent 3 hours learning how to pronounce... I hope you've paid your burial fees and signed your personal death and dismemberment waivers because this is the end for you. Line. Never mind. To the break room.
Cut! That was interesting, kid. Real novel take. Let's take 5.
There's my star. Walk and talk with me. Hey, listen, I appreciate what you tried there. Here, take this for making the trip down here. Don't call us. We'll...
Rizzo's Purpleberry Budge. A salt
So, how I think we can both agree that Maverick Johnson...
My dear fellow.
Move along.
Have you tried our new... Then you'll want to... Quite so. But I would never lower myself to do something as gauche as tending bar. My auto-mechanical assistant does all the work for me. Oh. I don't believe in work. Work is for auto-mechanicals and lower classes. I suppose there is something we all have. Do you know Celeste?
Hey, stand back. Of course not. But I'm not on the job. The others took me out to celebrate. He's basically the most important person in the colony, which makes me... That means I gotta... Yep. That's a great idea! I'll have a Spectrum vodka. Here's to me! Hey, you're really great. Have I told you that? Wow, listen to me. I'm soaked. Who am I kidding? It's not every day you get your dream job, right? Wow, you've got like this crazy energy. Has anyone ever told you that? You're like oh, Lost. I gotta stop. I'm seeing...
Only two?
Have you always been here? I really shouldn't. I'll have the war. You know, that's a very good point. Yeah. I don't feel so... I just need to sit down.
This is where those who fancy themselves the best and brightest of our society live. Trespassing here is a true honor.
This property is off limit. This ultimatum... That's funny. The minister isn't expecting visitors, and you don't much look like one of those couriers from HPS. Sure you are.
What's up? And we're stalking. And we're stalking. Incoming!
You must be joking. Our affairs.
Making it look easy. Great work.
Hortense yells at me about big...
I've always loved that sculpture.
You, with the hips. Over here. The way you rest your weight. Your walk. I'm select. I'm an artist, darling, not a... I'm work... Everything I need to know can... You're an... When I look... Make... Marvelous! What I need is a... My dear, I'll need... And when I... You have the bearing and demeanor...
I love Byzantium. Where else are you going to find it?
I tell you what, we'll change the font in our contracts as per your request.
Spacer's Choice Dehydrated Water Tablet. Just add here. Now available in
Your best finest. Is it true that manta queens devour their mates after copulation?
Yeah. Well, sort of. They kill them, but they leave the body till their swarm hatches and eats it. The first meal, pop.
Makes one appreciative he wasn't ornamented.
There's nothing to see here. Move on.
You know.
I have... Yeah? All right.
Damn, got some nimble fingers, Captain. Move along.
How did you get in here? You're not one of my guards. What are you doing here?
Minister Clark, what a remarkable honor it is to meet you.
If this is about another Aetherwave clip or radio spot, you may kindly fuck off, as the parlance goes. I'm not doing any more. Slowly and loudly, Alois. I said! Then you're not part of... That means you're a dissident? A real live dissident? But what are you doing here? And how did you get in? My friend, the slightest demonstration of independent thought or action renders one a dissident in the board's rather... Which is why I'm dying to know what brought you here. Drugs, of course. What else? Back to idiot speak. I don't have any drugs. You should try a vending machine.
What is this system coming to when even the Earth...
Will that be... Oh dear, I don't think I can say this any more slowly. Unless... Of course, of course! It's Rockwell again. Who else? Chairman Rockwell. He's kept me under house arrest for years. I've long suspected him of
He's attempting to game the system, but he won't be able to get away with it forever. Eventually, Rockwell's house of cards will top.
I dearly hope so. And you might be part of the equation. Whatever it is that brought you here, Rockwell's the one behind it. After seeing this place, is it really a stretch? I've been confined to this house for years, and even I can tell you, things aren't right in Halcyon. Whatever Rockwell's doing, he'll be doing it from the HH...
Captain, we must investigate Rockwell. An injustice like this cannot go unchecked.
Indeed, it cannot. I can't overstate the urgent...
This colony's problems have always seemed to trickle down from the top. If we're set on fixing Halcyon, that's as good a place as any to start.
Exactly. Why, this is starting to sound like an issue... Via the Acropolis District, of course. That's where the most important... But only board employees... There might be a route through the maintenance tunnels, but I'm afraid I don't know specifics. When you reach the HHC building, this access card should get you up to the executive suites, where the chairman's office and what used to be mine... The board's lackeys are none too bright. Wait! Rockwell has one of... Please, take this and transmit it from his office. But they need... What isn't on it is the real question. I've gathered meeting minutes, and once the rest...
Putting your faith in the inherent...
The Earth Directorate is our best hope. Depending on the nature of their response, organizing... In the name of the architect, what hope is there? It's all I can do. Good.
You must be joking. Our fair... Oh, there. That's one right there. Can't you just see the stench of impropriety radiating off of him?
For the last time. Access to Byzantium is impossible without a proper nav key.
How splendid. Why, just this morning And here you... Forgive me. Honestly, what is the board thinking? What's wrong? It erodes the very pillars of our... This city is meant for... But now... The worst thing to happen to Halcyon. A contest that gives even the lowliest amount... By simply winning a lottery, those early retirees get an Tell... Oh, by the law. It's not... Speed stand... Yes. What is the... Well, it doesn't matter. fantastic. The same way and bit for now.
The Acropolis District. What in the law's name are you? Sure. Did I say
Just act like we belong.
Welcome to the official headquarters of the Halcyon Holdings Corporation Board. Today's greeting is brought to you by Auntie Cleo, a subsidiary of Colway Pharmaceuticals.
Do we really need all this security? I have to go through 3 checkpoints just to take a bathroom break.
Can't be too careful. Dissidents like Phineas Wells will stop at nothing to ruin this colony.
Couldn't we concentrate the security outside?
Nothing exciting ever happens around here.
Most of the day-to-day business goes through the adjutant, Sophia Conde. She handles matters while the chairman's away.
Please step away. This entry is for high priority. Huh. I'll just need you to register your weapons with a revised request to carry. I'm not authorized to employ humor on the. Now. I was going to suggest that myself. Look. Just know there are a bunch of guards.
Apologies for the wait. I was... Personal assistant... Ah. Oh, you were being serious. Will there be any...
Excuse me, just a moment.
there something I can do for you?
You could dismantle a single room of this place, sell the materials, and feed everyone on Monarch for a month.
Good afternoon. I'm Chairman Rockwell, and I'm here to address a serious issue facing us. As you all know, our colony has been successful beyond our wildest dreams. Unfortunately, we've recently discovered that our food supply will not be able to sustain Halcyon's population in the long term. Everyone will die. Everyone will slowly stop living from malnutrition. But we're doing it together, and that's what matters. I fucking swear, if someone doesn't give me something to read that will placate the masses soon, all of you will find yourselves violently unemployed. But I can assure you there's nothing to fear. We've got a solution. It's called the Lifetime Employment Program. We will freeze most of the colony to preserve resources, while the best and brightest of Byzantium continue living in prosperity. Look, you idiots! How many times do I have to tell you we can't say shit like that? Fire whoever wrote this! While Halcyon's brightest minds solve the problem of our nutritional shortage, the rest of the colony will be placed in suspended animation. Individuals will be revived on a rotating basis, so that every Halcyonite can be part of the important work of saving our colony. By testing paperweights. Sorry, couldn't resist. Let's go again. And someday, in the not-too-distant future when we've solved this crisis, we'll all be back together again working for the good of Halcyon. Until then, the board shall provide for the deserving just as it always has. So, obey your supervisors, take your vitamins, follow your corporate-mandated grooming rituals, and rest assured with the board on your side, there is nothing to worry about.
Well, that was some quite distressing information.
Guess the whole colony's up a creek. I thought it was just Monarch.
Can we talk?
If I still believed in the grand plan, a revelation like this would have seriously shaken my faith. Knowing you, I can only assume you have already begun formulating a plan to deal with this. Yes, of course. Your ability to get out of tight situations virtually undetected. Anything you'd like to discuss?
I beg your pardon, Minister. I suppose...
You make it look so easy.
Understood. I'll keep my head down.
How may I be of it?
A UDL security attendant is always prepared.
Hey, did Tillman get transferred or something?
That's right. You weren't here when it happened. Some UDL officers took him into custody.
Oh, law, what did they take him for?
UDL's been questioning
Watch out, Captain! Take him down! We're taking losses! Bring him down! What? What was that?
Oh, everyone all right?
Not so fast. Basically, if you don't... I don't know how you got that, but I still don't... Like I... And... Incoming!
They'll never see us.
Oh, there. That's one right there. Can't you just see the stench of impropriety?
Go on in.
I'll sue every technician. And employee who's ever touched this. And device. Don't they know who I am?
Don't you
Rizzo's
think we
Purpleberry Punch. You want a punch? We've got your punch right here.
All right, how does this sound?
Like I said. Like I said. And you're... Like I... And...
The dissidents actually...
Looking for weapons?
That episode from a few weeks ago was supposedly based on a real incident. You mean the one?
The... what? What? The... Only because...
I cannot...
Indeed. What?
Spacer's Choice Zero G Brew. An ale that's good for what ails you.
Remember that stranger I saw in the square? I've always loved that sculpture.
I can't. What?
What do you think you're doing?
Much obliged.
Watch out, Catboat!
I love Byzantium. Where else are you?
Like I said... Like I said... And... Like I... Like I... What? Oh no. You... Please.
Someone needs to teach those iconoclasts a lesson for what they did to our gunship.
Nothing exciting ever happens around here. Move along.
Move along. No visitors allowed, citizen. Let me... We've talked to... Great work. Here they come. No visitors allowed, citizen. I'm going to... What? Now you...
Easy does it.
What's this I hear about you ordering more tests performed with sample 4157? That batch
I
failed
really should
spectacularly.
concentrate.
Developing new
I saw
Tyler
variants
Ritos
in the
flavors
results that we
made
never
the
accounted
glamorous.
for, so I had the
Well,
tech
we're
to run the
just
trial
right for the
again.
colony.
And the results were 0.003% different this time.
Do the words statistically insignificant?
course, but we're obligated to explore every possibility. Soldier?
Something?
Lawbreaker!
No visitors al- What?
Nicely done.
What was that?
Welcome aboard, Captain. You have a message from
No one ever looks quite the same in person. And my reports of you. You have something I want. Phineas Wells is wanted by the board. I want to convince you to... He has a litany of charges against him. Vandalism, illegal experimentation, sedition. I could go on. Wells is a dangerous madman. His plan is going to endanger every... You're in contact with... You are made...
Adjutant Acondes. We have successfully arrived at Phineas's orbital lab, Captain. And we are still in one piece. Shall I... Congratulate...
I've kept myself. All I need now. What? Oh, yeah. Why do you think we've been doing all this? I revived you to help me save Halcyon from a... Hold on. Let me see if I understand this correctly. You're saying that Halcyon's on the brink of total collapse, and the chairman's plan to save all of us is to save himself? I always knew Halcyon was heading toward a systems collapse, but I never imagined we were already there. The board made this crisis, and now they want to solve it by freezing the rest of us? That's not a plan. That's a goddamn escape clause. That makes two things we don't have. Time and chemicals to revive the other settlers. None of this was supposed to happen. I was supposed to revive the Hope's colonists. We were supposed to have enough time to solve the problem before we all starved. Human test subjects. Oh, that's grotesque. That's... Thank you. You've brought me enough chemicals to get started, at least. I'm just... Those poor people, they must have died. You say the board's trying to freeze their subjects over and over again without inflicting permanent damage? Well, they're nowhere close to solving that problem. I'll tell you this much. The board scientists are hopelessly lost. After years of fruitless experimentation, they've... We're out of time. We're out of chemicals. We may very well be out of options. If the board has their way, do you realize what this means for the Hope? For your fellow colonists? The board's going to kill them all. Toss them out into space, just to make room. Short of lining up every member of the board and shooting them in the back of... Do you know what's waiting for us on the Hope? Scientists, engineers. The board's going to dispose of them all and transform the Hope. We need to get to those colonists before the board. Merciful gibbering law, you're a genius! We bring the Hope to us. Skip the entire ship across the distance of colony space, right next to my lab. Yes, exactly. You're a step ahead of me, but I perceive the shape of your plan. If we link up the Hope to the Unreliable, then use your navigational computer to calculate a reasonably safe vector, we can skip the entire colony ship into...
And that's going to work, without killing us in the process. I thought intra-system microjumps were prohibited for a reason.
Yes, there's always a risk of a catastrophic collision between the Hope and, say, Terra 2, in theory. But you'll be fine. You'll need to switch on the Hope's auxiliary. Once you've... Certain. It wouldn't surprise me. I know you're wondering why I'm doing all this. Why I believe the people on the Hope are the answer to the colony's problems. The Hope is carrying some of humanity's most brilliant thinkers. Scientists, engineers, experts in their field. If we work together, we can still find a way to save Halcyon. The board would have us believe Halcyon is beyond saving. I choose to believe otherwise. If there's even the slightest chance we can save Halcyon from oblivion... Certain.
Didn't I request no more fertilizer shipments be brought on? Board? Who keeps ordering these? If you don't mind my saying, Captain, Minister Clark is lucky to have you on his side. Captain, I hope Dr. Wells has not dragged you into one of his irrational schemes again. Welcome back, Captain. I have received a
What? Oh, is this on? Oh, it's on right now. Oh, blast. Hello? I'm trying to reach the captain of the unreliable... I'll keep this short, lest I get caught. Please return to Roseway as soon as you can. I have an item... Now, how does this blasted thing...
The transmission is complete. What part of the colony? Ah, yes. There is a bounty on his head, one with a markedly high reward amount. I shall happily comply with... The outlaw scientist known as even... Of course. What part of the How can I be of... I have... I require, as you may, in our... Welcome back, Captain. How can I be? Mm-hmm. We have arrived at the Hope. I need you to reroute power from our... You'll have to connect me to the Hope's comm system, so... If your calculations are even slightly off, or the sun. Forgetfulness can be an early warning. I need you to... You'll have to... The Hope is the Groundbreaker's prettier sleep. Also, there are hundreds of...
Power's up, Captain.
Great work. Got your paperwork squared away?
This must... This must... This must be unsettling for you, Captain.
Processing. Worker, this area is restricted. Error. Hop crew. Error. Paradox protection protocols. Error.
glad to have no olfactory system.
That's it. Captain, we ought to go. Please. This place is giving me the fucking creeps.
That's the Hope's computer up ahead. I'll admit, I am curious. Greetings, Captain. I am speaking to you through the Hope's computer. Probably not, but don't let that stop you. My Constellation executables could use some beefing up. Are you and also jump start? I wouldn't advise.
Well, it's been a good life.
All right. It is in your hands now, Captain. I trust you.
ADA, does your captain seriously intend to do a micro jump in system with...
That is what my captain...
But that is a gross misuse of the skip drive. The Zero Point Drives Corp and I will not be held responsible for it.
Yes.
You should not be doing this. The humans will die.
Thank you, Hope. It looks like all systems are go. Oh, good. We are still alive and have successfully skipped into Terra 2's orbit. I reported as much to Phineas Wells, but he has not responded. Perhaps you should check in on him.
I feel like my stomach's still back where the ship used to be.
Need a hard drink and a long nap.
Initiating greetings protocol.
Playing tricks on me.
Oh, I never felt anything like that. I'm gonna need a minute.
Captain, I am receiving a transmission from... Captain, I shall now play the transmission I received from Dr. Wells.
The board is here. They've found me somehow. They're about to blast my door open. I can't stop them from getting me, and there isn't enough time to explain everything. But there's something very important you need to remember. The board, all their lackeys, they're all a bunch of swine. Do you hear me? They're fucking corporate swine. You fucking pigs! I'll take you all out with me! I'll never...
It would seem the recording captured some rather dire events. I presume you'll want to dock at the orbital lab to check on your associate as soon as possible? How can I be of assistance? Certainly. What would you like to hear? I need a little help with my calculus. Can you integrate my natural law? Now playing a Spacer's Choice advertisement jingle.
It's not the best choice.
Everyone in Halcyon is contractually as you wish. I request. Now arriving at Phineas's top secret orbital lab.
me? I'm looking for
Nothing like a good hustle. Nicely done.
Please, would you kindly inform the crew that long chats with Ada are not Fired every time the captain leaves the ship. Captain, as it appears we may soon be, I believe.
Phineas, locked up in Tartarus? We cannot let this stand. That place terrifies even the most hardened.
And here we are, entertaining the notion of...
To extract the scientist, you will need to infiltrate the labyrinth. But that course of action is likely to be quite dangerous, Captain.
Someone has to protect humanity's future.
I'm sure the outlaw Phineas will appreciate you saving his day, as it were, Captain. If you really mean to do this, you should see to your final affairs and close out any unfinished business. What?
I think it's insane, but maybe the...
I know it's dangerous, and I won't lie and say I'm not scared out of my wits.
You're asking for more than bravery from us, Captain. But there are...
The entire plan is a terrible idea, but I admire your bravado, Captain, which leads me to a lot.
I'd wait.
Sensible. Let's just hope they haven't resorted.
Waiting on your command.
Yes, you call. What?
I am pleased to inform you that we have arrived at the labyrinth. Please be advised that the punishment... Please be advised that a... Resident count is as follows. 3,071. The interior... I would also add... I can make the assurance that I will not leave with another captain unless you do not return within... Oh, speak of the devil.
Attention, unauthorized spacecraft. This is a map. You are hereby confined to your docking platform. I wager it'll take a bit longer than it takes, to be honest. Protocol is important. The sentencing of one Tartarus docking authority. Wait, is that from the Groundbreaker?
Transmission. How can I... See you soon, Captain. I think I'll initiate an unscheduled...
The captain did right by us once. Now it's happening. The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I read. Push on, Mardet.
Stay down, hullhead.
Here they come! Well done. We are victorious.
suppose it would be too late to back out now, huh? Fear not, Captain. I'll watch your back.
The captain did right by us once. Now it's our turn. The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I read. Push on, Margat!
Stay down, hullhead.
Somebody clean up this mess.
Everyone all right? We have a lot of shooting to do, Captain. Big mistake.
Oh, good.
We're alive.
We got a fight on our hands.
Get in there, troops. For Monarch. For Halcyon.
Well, look who it... I'll be damned. I was prepping the studio for our announcement, and here you are as a bonus. Ah, I knew I smelled Monarch when you lot walked in. The stench of sulfur, depression, and desperate bravado is unmistakable.
Keep talking, you'll be smelling iron. Ain't nobody so important I won't put a bullet in.
And the convict. The vicar.
Oh, I would go anywhere to see...
When you go off and get yourself... My word! It's a wonder what Phineas saw in you. Then again, he's an insane person. Thankfully, he's our insane person now. A proper... Oh, the look on your face. But that's between us. Oh yes, go on, wake them up, add more mouths to feed. That'll solve... I don't know what half-baked plans that's... Let me ask you something, Captain.
I believe...
I'm making actual progress towards stabilization and... Oh, right. This coming from the psychopathic... You have? Is that what you were doing? Look, I'm not an unreasonable man. If you manage to storm the castle, as it were, and make it out of here... I can't exactly afford more havoc. I've got work to do. I've got work to do.
Libations on me, folks. Like a raft among the rocks.
Everything in my life has been leading up to this point. I am, I believe I am ready for this.
Take a breath now, folks. Once we're up there, I suspect we ain't gonna have time to stop shooting.
Captain, you have an uncanny talent for You've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order. Typical. Running your mouth in the middle of a crisis. My reports described you as one of Halcyon's sharpest minds. I can't imagine why you'd do something so irrational. I should have dealt with you alone. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised by your impertinence. Leaving you alive was my greatest. I have Dr. Wells in my custody. Once I've secured his cooperation. Well, that's mostly correct. I take no pleasure. Leaving you alive is too great. This prison... And don't worry.
Never anger a man of the claw!
Eliminated. Surgery setting on arrival. Person. Beginning security.
Sweeping.
Trouble incoming!
Trespassers terminated.
Why won't you just die?
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You did the right thing. Akande was a monster. Her death was much deserved, and long overdue. And you lunatic, you broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough. Ah, all in a day's work for you, huh? You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's... You and I are going to have to work hard. I would like nothing more... Earth has gone dark. We haven't received... 2 years ago, the Earth's director...
So we've got to make do on our...
You're quite right.
Earth is only an idea to us. But that idea is the bedrock the colony...
I don't want... We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? Yeah? I don't know what happened, but something must have gone horrible. We have no connection. I heard it from Akande herself. She tried to pressure me into joining her side. She was half right. We are alone. You might have heard of the Earth Direct... That was... Yes, Akande mentioned as... Akande... I wasn't trying to hide the truth. Yeah. You have every right. If you have... We must work... The chairman? We can't... We're...
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. As the colony struggled to survive, the inspirational story of the iconoclasts spread like wildfire, and Graham was able to bring many of the smaller Terra-2 townships into the fold. However, his zealous obsession with spreading the word blinded him to the needs of a growing organization, and the movement was unsustainable at scale. The iconoclast way seemed to work best, and ultimately petered out on Monarch. Sublight Salvage adapted to the changes in Halcyon, shifting their business model to suit the times. Their claims of legitimacy were scrutinized, but ultimately unquestioned. Lilia Hagen would continue to protect her family as ruthlessly as ever. The collapse of Edgewater left its workers bereft of any purpose in life. Most of them made their way to Adelaide McDevitt's camp, hoping to ingratiate themselves into her favor. Adelaide accepted only a few to her community. The rest were turned away and likely died of starvation. Nevertheless, Adelaide's camp grew into a well-established town. Adelaide McDevitt refused to cooperate with the ongoing effort to save Halcyon from collapse. A sympathetic deserter stole a copy of her research and delivered it to the Hope's scientists. It is unclear how useful Adelaide's research was. An optimistic estimate suggests her work may have bought Halcyon another few years of survival. Adelaide would never know. She died that winter. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers, schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create. He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless. Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace. Though Parvati eventually grew comfortable aboard the Unreliable, she never quite came out of her shell. She seemed to prefer the company of Ada to the crew, and she could often be found neck-deep in cables and grease, telling Ada funny stories from her childhood. While the colony fell into chaos, she found an island of relative peace with Ada, and they formed an unusual bond. She decided to remain aboard the Unreliable permanently as its chief and sole engineer. As hard as she tried to drink them away, Nyoka's memories eventually overcame her. Traveling with the crew served as a constant reminder of the family she'd lost, and so she eventually returned to Monarch to get back to what she found most comfortable: the deep end of a bottle and the far end of a trail. Few have seen her since, but travelers often swear they hear her and her machine gun in the night, screaming swears and spitting bullets. Before his untimely death, Captain Alex Hawthorne had plans to restore and modify, for combat purposes, a sanitation and maintenance automechanical that he'd found in a state of disrepair in Emerald Vale's scrapyard. That unit remains broken down and forgotten in the Unreliable supply closet to this day. Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. Chairman Rockwell served as the public face for the changes in Halcyon to come. Whenever you needed strings pulled or a voice to sell a policy change, Rockwell was only too happy to oblige. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. Though he was always haunted by the failures of his past, he was determined to make things right by building toward the future. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. The revival project was hard and painful work, but in the end, despite limited resources, over half the Hope's colonists were successfully revived. Even after Wells passed away, the Hope scientists and engineers worked night and day to pull Halcyon from the brink of collapse. Their efforts continue to this day, which may be reason enough for optimism. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Life will never be the same in Halcyon. It is widely agreed that the colony has a chance of stabilizing within a generation, owing to the hard work and determination of the surviving colonists. Recovery is a distant goal, and the path is long and uncertain. But the people of Halcyon carry on, determined as ever. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? You brought an end to the chaos on Tartarus, and made Chairman Rockwell your own puppet, a role he was all too eager to play. The colony never realized you were the true power behind the new administration. By acting vicariously through agents and third parties, you controlled Halcyon from the shadows. As a result, Halcyon survived the turbulent years that were to follow. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.